Ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
Streaming 24/7.
24/7.
Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika nakupenda sana. Oh, Afrika nakupenda sana.
Okay, hi guys, welcome to another epic episode on Bold Moves Radio. It's Tuesday, 7 p.m. Welcome home. I'm your host, Tahato Benegedi, and then I'll be running with my girl, Happiness. She's going to come introduce herself. But then before that, I just want to tell you guys that today we'll be talking about something very much relatable. Something that gives us, that sends us into therapy, something that sends us into every, like, you know, Happiness every weekend is like, yeah, weekend therapy, it's very big. We're going to be talking about that sends us into the very big, the very big week. Anyways, hi Happiness, how are you?
Good evening, Tahato. I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. How was your week? How's last week?
My week, it has been good. Nothing much has been happening. And you said I'm gonna introduce myself. So I just want for our audience to please follow our YouTube channel. We need your subscriptions there. Our very first video upload as Bay Waves. We're talking more about ourselves. So if you want to know more about us, the host of the show, please like the page and watch that video. And then, yeah, you'll know more about me then.
Oh, this is my time to shine. Okay, this is my time to shine. Guys, please subscribe to Bold Moves Radio. Please don't forget to like, share, and invite your friends to invite their friends to like the page. Yeah, so yeah, do subscribe, guys. Do watch it. Your support is really much appreciated. We are still on Facebook on Bold Moves Radio. We have rebranded, so yeah, it's still Bold Moves Radio, but at the same place. It was just a little rebrand. And today we'll be talking about modern day dating. So that's what we'll be talking about. So basically we'll be covering out your red flags, your green flags. We do have green flags, guys, so not everything is red. So we do have green flags. So we'll be talking about that. We'll be covering the whole relationship spectrum, actually. But before we get into that, Happiness Wajola, are you dating?
No, I'm not dating, unfortunately.
Why?
Why do you want to expose me on air?
No, I just want to know, why are you not dating?
Expose me. God. I'm not, the door is not closed, but I've just been busy with a lot of things. And also I've been on a self-awareness journey, if you know what I'm talking about. And somebody realizing that, well, you know, the face after that other thing. Yeah, I was going through that journey, and yeah, it has been that, and it got extended, and now here we are. But I'm all for dating. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for dating, just that I'm not dating right now.
I was going to be upset if you said you are not down for dating, because that means you're saying no to free coffees, you're saying no to free movie nights, you're saying the nice thing about dating. Okay.
I can't.
Why not? Okay,
no, I can't say no to it.
Okay, there is, what exactly is dating? What exactly is dating, and when do you say you are in a relationship? Like, is dating the same thing as being in a relationship?
Well, if you say you're in a relationship, then you'd have to define the relationship. Because there are different type of relationships. There's friendship is part of relationships. There's colleagues, it's a relationship on its own. So you need to define it. So dating is a way of defining a certain type of a relationship. And in my way, dating plays a very huge role, more age grouping arena. Hence, you said it's one thing that we relate so much to it. You just pick somebody and you just want to share your life with them, with hope that you will in future get married with them or get married to them, and yeah, you proceed with life.
Okay, with me, I love defining words. I love words that really put the meaning in something. So I have romantic relationships. I have platonic relationships, which we will describe as your friendship or in your working relationships. So yeah, I always have those words in front of my relationships. Like it's a romantic relationship, it's a platonic relationship, and dating to me. Just because I went out with happiness, see, like dating to me is Njolo interviews, you understand? Like, yeah, we're not dating brothers, but then let's have this conversation. Let's see the red flags that are there. Let's assess the green flags while we having coffee, while we at the movies, while we, But then, with our generation, you do that. You go out with happiness today. Tomorrow you go out with tapelo. You're gonna start getting labels. So that's why we just end up masking relationships as dating. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, I think I view it differently from you. With what you're saying, you are saying for dating, it is when you're trying to know each other, look out for the red flags and the green flags. And that for me, it's too late. When you say or you guys are dating, it's too late to be paying attention to that. I think that is why the talking phase is important. So you guys need to go to the talking phase, and when you're happy with this person, then you commit. I'm committing to be with this person. I know somebody is probably watching right now. Guys, you don't just take somebody out for three outings or 3 dates and assume or you are dating. You need to ask them out, or AK, will you be my girlfriend? So that we are all on the same page. We need that proposal to happen. It is equally important so that we are on the same page.
So yeah,
that's all.
I love reading love novels, and like I read long ago books, like where dating is what we now call the talking phase. So in the olden days, they would date. Literally, hi, can I come pick you up? Wear a dress. I bought you a dress. I'll come pick you up at 7. And then the guy pops up at the door with flowers. And then they open the door for you. And then you go out, and then you have food, and then you talk, and then as time goes by, the guy will end up saying, let's get into a relationship, or I want you to be my girlfriend. So what we do these days, I think what sends us into weekend date is that Happiness and I go out a few times, and then we do not talk. One thing about us is we do not talk. One thing about us is that we do not express emotions. We think expressing emotions is lame. So I go out with Happiness a few times here and there. And then Jiggy, I'm popping out as girlfriend their Happiness. But when in actual fact, no one has said anything. So we suffer from concluding things. So yeah, it's very much important to have the talking phase. The talking phase is what will get you into the relationship, or what is going to save you from not getting into the relationship. Because when you talk with a person without feelings involved, they reveal more of themselves than when they view you as like when the romantic feelings are involved. I think that's one thing that helps into getting into a healthy relationship, a relationship with more green flags than red flags.
100%.
So yeah, we do date. So if you're out there, you're just chilling. And another thing that's very much important that's going to get you into a relationship is going on a self-awareness journey. Nothing is as frustrating as being with a person who does not know themselves.
100%. That's very true. That's very true.
Is. Mm.
And the other danger, yeah, this whole dating thing, I think there are good things and bad things about it. But the other person reducing your worth and then you believing it. That is why it is important for you to go through that phase. Or right. Like just give yourself some break from everybody. Okay, who am I actually? And what am I going to settle for? Is this what I'm settling for because of love? Look, love is not going to pay bills. Love is not going to build a family. Love itself, it is not enough. There are a lot of things that are required for you to build a healthy and sustainable relationship.
Yes,
I hope you're going to talk more about those ones. And what is like, what do you normally talk about during your talking phase?
Well, my talking phase is, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite song? And then it's when you really, then after, those are the basics, like what's your favorite meal? After you've covered that, you've now broken the ice. So you can now talk about your traumas. You can now talk about your triggers, your traumas. You can now talk about things that are really close to you. And unfortunately, you cannot get to your traumas. You cannot get to your triggers if you do not get to yourself first. So before you jump into a relationship, you have to go through self-awareness. Otherwise, you're going to self-sabotage every relationship you get into. You'd find yourself, would you all know, but Taba was really a good guy. And I messed up. The whole time, it was just you projecting feelings. It was just you struggling to deal with your traumas that you did not even know of. You know, something about not digging deep into yourself is that you'll find yourself reacting to things that are not even directed to you. You'll find yourself like over bomb, do you understand? Over bomb, because even tell you, no, I just don't like it. Why don't you like it? No, you know, see, but if you do actually go through self-awareness journey, you'll understand why you don't like it. And you'll find a way of dealing with it. I can't say liking it again, but of dealing with it. And I think a lot of people do not go through self-awareness journeys because they are afraid of what they're going to find. I think Oduji, when things are happening around you, you know deep down somewhere in your heart, more than they're talking about me. That's why you often but you're not willing to be truthful with yourself. So another journey, like self-awareness journey, is very traumatic as well, because you'll find yourself questioning happiness. Mola upidil happiness for a very long time, but you get to questioning happiness and what she brings into your life, and then you have to make a decision of letting go of happiness or letting happiness in. So it's tricky. It's not something that you just, I'm done. And the nice thing about self-awareness journey is that once you get into it, you never stop. It's like you continue and continue. It's progressive. It takes time, you know, and yeah, that's the beauty of it. I went into my self-awareness journey, I think at 2018, when I started losing friends. And then I eventually shut off everyone. And that was the scariest part, because you cannot go self-awareness, say, as a group work. It's not, hey, I found this somewhere, let's try it. No. It's really you with your demons sitting on a table, figuring out what you're going to eat together. It's you figuring your demons out, how you're going to solve them. So I started by 2018. It's now 2021. I'm still telling you, I'm still on a self-awareness journey. You learn every day. You heal parts of yourself that you didn't even know that they needed healing. And it's not linear. I think what we forget a lot of times is that we think it's a linear phase. Like you just find your traumas and then you solve them, and then that you just vibes. How has it been for you in happiness? Like that the journey has been a friendly one, or has it been a rough one?
Well, I can say it's a roller coaster ride. At some point, it was like so dark. At some point, I just wanted people to surround me. Like I couldn't be in a space where I would be with myself alone and be okay. I needed company. That was why it was very fun during the day. But when I go back to my place, it's just dark. But then you pass through that phase, then you get to a phase where you are actually happy with yourself, and then all you want is your company. So it's a roller coaster, man. Sometimes it's nice, sometimes it's not nice. But what I can tell you, Jorge, once you get over it, like once you pass the whole phase, it's the best thing ever. Because nobody can tell you anything. Like, honey, you know yourself. Nobody can tell you otherwise or know you're pink. I already know that I'm white. Like, hello. So, like, at this point, I'm really happy. I'm so grateful for that whole journey. Now, personally, I would advise it, especially if you've been in a relationship for a long time. You tend to forget about yourself because most of the time, when you're making decisions, it's no longer about you. So that phase, it helps you or reminder or what do you want for yourself, not any other person. So yeah.
Yes. That's true. The dark days are really dark. They're really dark. But once you get to a phase where you went through the dark days, we're not saying for the dark days are gonna end. They're gonna take a break and they might come back. But when they come back, you will really a better way of dealing with them. I'm noting your head right now, Happiness.
Oh yes, it's questions from the floor.
Okay.
So we have our regular Prudence. Shout out to you, Prudence. Baby loves you so much. Prudence is a consistent follower of this page and the show. So lol, dating is like an interview phase. No intimacy involved, 100%. And I think what she's saying is very right, because but why intoxicate involve other things? Now you're supposed to kiss, or now you're supposed to do other things. No, it messes up the whole idea of dating. If you find yourself dragging other things into it, no, it's a red flag.
Yes. Note that's the first red flag. We come back to it though.
Yeah. And at no point should you feel pressured by the other person. About how they lost their virginity, or no, now it's not ready, but my partner wanted this and that, and he loves me, so I felt pressured to do this. Look, a real thing will never make you feel pressured at any point. If you feel pressured, red flag, mark it red.
Number 2.
Yeah. Okay, and then there's another comment from her. You can go out with a couple of guys and ladies on dates to see who vibes well with you to escalate to intimacy relationship. So I think now comment 1 minute to toilet tabo, the next to toilet tabo. So she's against what you're saying, because when I know you're supposed to stick with your tabo, and if it doesn't work out, then you can go to tabo. So you now know, take them all and decide.
Yes.
And then there is Lotissimo Khoba. Shout out to you, Latanang. He's a very good friend of mine. He commented, I reckon sometimes it's also about, let's just go with the flow and see if we do work. Should we not, then we'll ghost. The ghosting phase. Well, let me finish. That's one of the frustration with our generation. We are too quick to conclude, move, and feel entitled. Let's about the ghosting phase. It's very common with that generation, hey?
It's a trauma response ghosting, but we'll get to it.
All right.
Are those the questions that we had? Okay. Yes. See, for those who do not know, ghosting is me chatting to you. We go out and then we talk. In your head, you really think, oh no, this is going somewhere. Jiggy, I'm gone. What I realized about people who ghost is that they ghost because they cry for help. It's like they know even you know you're gonna sabotage yourself, but you want to do this, but because of what happened the previous time, it's gonna repeat itself. So let me remove myself before it happens. And if you can check, most of the time, the people who ghost you always leave the door open. They never shut it. They never, they just stop texting you. They'll never block you. They'll never block your calls. If you call, they will not ignore you. So they leave the door open. It's a trauma response. That's where if you are a red love ghoster, I'm telling you, it's not cute. Find help. Find out what is it that you're running away from. Because half the time you're running away from something. A very good person. Guys, we have this friends who are ghosting people. They'll tell you, no, you know what, I really like happiness, that hey, there's just something. Which one was that they do not know. So it's definitely something that happened previously that they're now pouring into this clean plans. So our generation suffers with that. It's like we carried that thing last week this happened. It's probably gonna happen this week. And guys, I always wake up with a 50-50 chance. There's a 50% chance that this day is gonna be good. There's a 50% that this day is gonna be bad. But either way, let's roll with it. Because if there's 50% chance of this day going good, then it's gonna increase to 80%, and the bad that's gonna happen is just gonna be, minor things. So sometimes people ghost because they are undecisive. They ghost because they're running away from something. Because there really are things that will trigger you. Mara what exactly it is about this person that but the whole time you find so now you think every so you end up just ghosting. But do better. It's not cute to ghost, guys. It's not cute. It's also traumatic on the person that you ghosted.
But no,
yes.
Continue. After you finish your statement.
And I think ghosting also goes along with being selfish, because you cannot say you like me then do that thing to me. Guys, it's very much traumatic to be told, I really like you. During the talking phase, obviously, somewhere they're going to tell you that they like you. Somewhere they're going to tell you that they like you. And we are humans. We thrive on people loving us. Like, we're in a constant chase for love. It doesn't matter whether it's romantic love. Like, we're constantly in a chase for love. So when somebody confesses for a they like you, you thrive on that. And then you see the next day they're not talking to you. It's traumatic. So you're not only doing damage to yourself, but to the other person as well. I hate people who ghost. Because we adults, guys, no, to be honest, if you find yourself in a relationship where you're both adults, but you're not behaving like adults, get out. Get out, honestly. It's not working out. Because if we're in a relationship, if I trust you that much to get into a relationship with you, because getting into a relationship takes like a chunk of trust. If that person cannot communicate with you and you can't seem to find a ground to communicate on, that's a red flag and you gotta move.
I do agree, and I acknowledge that ghosting is not cute, like you said. But sometimes you're just trying to protect the other person. You might have went out through the talking phase and you realize, this person is a good person, but they're not for me, because compatibility also plays a very huge role when you're choosing your partner. So, they're good. You'd like to keep them as a friend, but not as a romantic partner. But that person and us that situation, like they keep on pushing. So to protect that whole thing, you don't want them to hate you. So I'm talking from experience. I'm against ghosting, but sometimes I do it for that, to protect the other person's peace, because only to get like no, but then I'm happy. It's not gonna be okay. So I'd rather protect them or protect whatever that we have.
My big respect for people comes from them being able to tell me. See, you come to me now, you're telling me, let's go out. And you're like, let's go out for coffee. And then we talk. The very same way you came approaching me, tell me that it's not working out. Don't just pull the plug on me. No. Tahazo, I really like you. I thought this would go far, but it's just not working out for me. So I'm going to end our contact. Setting boundaries. This is where you go with boundaries. If I'm going to say that, like, this is not working out. So I'm going to stop communicating with you. And I would appreciate it if we're now also in contact because, yeah, and then you end it there. You're not, honestly, I feel like if you're ghosting me, you're not doing me any justice. In fact, you're just complicating my life going further. This is what I do, even with my friendships. If something is not working out for me, rather than leaving you hanging, I'm going to tell you, this and this happened. And yeah, it didn't patter me really good. So because of 1, 2, 3, and 4, I'm gonna stop communicating with you. We're not beefing, no, but I'm gonna love you from a different sphere. So this is why I say, if you find yourself being involved with someone who cannot communicate, run. Because it's a struggle to always be in constant confusion. We should be able to talk to each other. If we're gonna be in a relationship that we're planning for it a committed, how about guys, the moment you get into a relationship, you're committed. Let's start there. You are committed. You are committed. There's this thing that again, fuck buddies, there's no friends with benefits. There's no friends with benefits. There is no, I can say female friends with no boundaries. All of those, that thing, they get chucked out. If you find yourself having to fight for a spot, this is where you have to know your worth. And already know your worth, we don't mean for call that big and demand a Rolls Royce today. No. We mean for when your boundaries are not being respected, for your worth is not being valued, for you have to go. And another thing that we are entitled on as a generation is thinking that if a guy loves you, they're gonna spend a chunk of million rands on you. Content is killing us, guys. Like, content is not lie. I'm saying this with a sincere heart, for content is gonna kill us. Just because someone is spending that chunk of money on you, you don't know where that money comes from. You don't know how much there is, where it comes from. So he might be spending cents on, but right now you think it's just a lot of money. Money does not equal love, guys. Like two different things.
I think I'm just gonna come in there, but before I go in, you are still watching Baywaves. So we are talking about modern dating, and at this point, we are talking about the red and the white flags. What to look out for before you choose a romantic partner. So yeah, we are still addressing the red flags. It's still the early stages. So yeah, please interact. Let's get your views there in the comment section. Tahatso, regarding the ghosting one, I do agree that communication is key. In fact, I'm an advocate their communication. However, understand that people react differently. Some people can't take rejection. No matter how many times you tell them, no, we cannot do this, they still push. And me personally, it feels uncomfortable when somebody is pushing for something that I cannot give them. So I'd rather block. I'll block you. So that's my reasons for, but I never beef with people then ghost them, or yeah, I always communicate before ghosting. So by ghosting, they don't know, or okay, no, actually she ghosted me because of 1, 2, 3. The other thing that you talked about is money. When you get to adult relationships, like the phase that we are at right now, money is essentially important. I don't know, like clapping and watch the Goloidi feta. We need to go out for dates. I need to get those flowers. I love flowers. So I'm not gonna no to other people, but I'm not getting any flowers. You know, it goes back to Tabaya love languages. I think once you establish each other's love languages, then it becomes very easy to love the other person. Like me, I love flowers, I love cute things, I love going out for dates. And if somebody's not gonna give me that, I'm probably gonna fall out of love with them. I'm not saying that is the huge part, but it is a contributing factor. I normally tell my friends, Ori, you know, there are 3 things that are like the foundation of a healthy, sustainable relationship. One, the one that comes first, it is obviously love. You know, love comes first before we can talk about our money, our qualifications, and love needs to come in. And after it has taken its place, respect, you know, about boundaries. I mean, we can't be in an intimate relationship, but there's also somebody snooping in, somebody unconsidered stress. It is not healthy, because that is just gonna plant insecurities, you know. The third one, communication. Gosh, a lot of things can be solved, avoided with just mere communication. Like matata manchi, go no poster a poll or ask her, okay, what broke you guys? No, it was just communication. Communication is very, 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 very important. Relationship. That's how communication is important. And the fourth one, it's money. If you don't have money, leave relationships. And I'm not talking about thousands, but at least just have like that 50 rands to spare so that we can go for an ice cream date. In relationships are there to enhance each other's happiness. It's not something that is supposed to cause stress. It's supposed to enhance it. So why should I take in somebody right now, can take it happy by myself, and they're not bringing in anything? Like, make it make sense. Yes, that's my 2 cents. Over to you, Madam Host.
Okay, I love the conversation actually, because with our generation, we think we're entitled to people's monies, guys. One thing about money is not really important in a relationship. I'm saying this because if a guy likes you, trust me, he's gonna pop out that money. Do you understand? The problem comes with, no, money has to be there. Guys, what exactly do you fall in love with? Do you fall in love with the person, or do you fall in love with what the person has? Do you understand?
The money, love is the foundation, but what keeps it burning? The fuel. Money is the fuel of a relationship.
The fuel of the relationship is the character of the person that you're in a relationship with. If a person likes you, personally, I think, I usually struggle with showing affection to my little sisters, and I adore them so much. So what I do is, I got you this. Do you understand? That's how money seems to be important. When a guy likes you, he's gonna take you out on a date. When a guy likes you, he's gonna bring you flowers. I say it's not something that is written down on what that is what is killing us. Money is gonna enter where you thinking, groceries, electricity, bills. That's where money gets in. But if a guy likes you, he's gonna take you out on a date without you even mentioning it. If a guy likes you, he's gonna get you a necklace without you even mentioning it. If a guy likes you, he's gonna pop those dollars on you without you asking for it. If you find yourself asking for it and masking it as a love language, this goes both ways. You're creating something in his mind of what he's entitled to you, which is where more of our gender-based violence cases come from. Because we plant this idea that they have to spend on us. You cannot spend on something and not, guys, we fight over pens because I spent money on this pen. I have entitled ownership to it. So once I spend money on something, eventually I'm entitled to it. Because all the time, okay, this month my allowance has to be this. Trust me. That's a very volatile line you going on. Because they're gonna plan it on that thing. I spent money on you. We're gonna be real here, guys. We live in a world made of I said this, I think our first airing soon. We have little boys walking around as men. So and to men being the providers, money is something that's really valuable to them. Don't joke around with money when it comes to don't joke around, guys. Like you can say it in simple terms. So when a guy gives you a lift, automatically they're entitled to your phone numbers. It doesn't matter who you ask for that lift. It doesn't matter you're gonna like, as long as Bob feel lift trust me, if you did not give them that number. Now imagine a guy spending that much on you every month. So if a guy loves you, money is not essentially important, but I would say for it's wanted. Because if a guy likes you, he's gonna go over and beyond to make you happy. And if he realizes, if you wait on your talking stages and whatnot, he's gonna know her own, my girlfriend and then it's gonna come spontaneously. But when you start asking for it, it starts becoming a problem. I'm noting your happiness. You can come in.
Thank you, Madam Host. I'm just gonna represent the team that feels entitled. I myself feel entitled because I'm naturally a giver, especially in a relationship. It makes me dizzy. I just want to spoil the person. So that is why I have that expectation from my partner. Okay, if I'm gonna give, I'm supposed to get. As a generals, or we are expecting the male people or bring out the money in the relationship. No, when I said money, I didn't mean the man should only have money, the woman doesn't have to have money. You also need to have it, because what other thing are you going to be bringing on the table? You know, it's not just about your character, your personality, your birds.
Can I come in there before you go any further, any far? Ladies.
You're going to address the table.
Let me address the table. Can I address the table? You do not contest for a table that you are brought to. You do not. When I automate, that guy already knows what you bring to the table. So obviously, if you find yourself contesting for the table, something is not adding up. Because why would I consider?
You probably watched Madam.
You can continue. I'll come back to the table. Happiness. I think I'm losing happiness a bit there. But yeah, what I'm saying is, if you find yourself like, they called you like, oh, I get a gladly gift. I'm just saying, come to my wedding because I invited you there. I'm going to give you the food. I'm going to give you the drinks. So I'm totally 100% against contesting for the table. It means you stole for it. I have things that are going to come to the table. So a man cannot be asking me what I'm bringing to the table. I'm the table. Happiness, I'm losing you.
Am I back? I also lost myself here. Am I back?
Yeah, you are back.
You probably watched Madam Host videos. I think that's why you're saying all of that. Yeah, that's true. I fully agree, Takato. I fully agree. My point was, Lerato, like I said, there are things that it's a fire, you know, and you need to fuel it up, and money will come in there to fuel it up. It fills it out beautifully, so you understand. I also have questions from the floor, if not comments. Prudence, oh well, This is the first one. The moment you suppress the dating phase and indulge yourselves in an intimate relationship, communication and transparency is key 100%. I mean, by then it should be that easy to disclose your deepest pain. That's true.
Yes.
Stop being in relationships with your enemies. I feel like that's the thing.
Exactly.
But to what like a relationship, if you
When
find
people
yourself
who
not
don't
being
like them. Hey, like when they're telling you their problems, you can hear, no, actually, when actually they don't really like you like that.
yeah. Oh, which reminds me, you know, a relationship, you need both the like and the love.
Very important.
Very important. So sometimes you love the person, but you don't like them. It is gonna catch up with you. And then there's another one, but ghosting brings a lot of negative self-esteem to a lot of people. It does. Bisha Are, I think for me, understanding is key. We can communicate as much as we want, but if we do not understand each other, then we are not going anywhere. Re-invite us stress. Well, I would like to say Prudence. This is a comment from Prudence. First thing, my light just went off. I'm sorry. You need to define communication. For me, there's a difference between talking and communicating. Talking is what I'm doing right now, just blurbing out words. But communication is talking with understanding, you know? So you need to differentiate the two. Be able to communicate in a relationship. I will like with the aim of the next person understand that. If I understand the create clarity, that is communicating. And then understanding go on. I seek clarity, you know. I always say when during the talking phase, I do say I'm a very vocal person. So if you cannot tolerate these vocals, then it's as good as over. It's doomed, because I'm always gonna be like, okay, what is happening right now? What is this? What is that? That is communicating, seeking understanding. And then Lotana Aren, we do talk about the importance of money, right? But is it the deciding on or contributing factor of a relation? Also, it should be done to women generally that men don't mind voluntarily spending on a lady that they feel is either the one or has a potential to be.
Yes.
Okay. Like I said, money. I'm not saying money is a big part of a relationship, but it is a contributing factor. Well, also there are different stages. Like Banabama 16 years, money, it's not a thing. They shouldn't even look at Chalete. Banababa 18 years, it's not important. But when you get to our age, we start talking about marriage. We start talking about buying houses, buying cars, having kids. And we need to see, do you have the potential to actually provide that? You can't tell me, you know what, stand some, I'm going to buy us a house. These days, we want proof organicity. Can you build that heaven for me? You know, if you are failing to buy me a simple coffee, how can I trust or that in the future?
I really like what you said for a 16-year-olds, 18-year-olds. But guys, that when we're being blunt with ourselves, when we're being really truthful with ourselves, that is the kind of mindset we are setting to these kids. That is exactly the life that we're setting to these kids. Money is needed in a relationship. And that's when... Honestly, you remember I said content is killing us. Honestly, that's the life that we are portraying to these kids. If a guy really likes you, they have to spend money on you. Guys, I love what Lotanan said. If a guy really likes you, he's not gonna mind going to Capitega loan. On any day, they will do that. If like Bona, you tell a guy that likes you once you're hungry, the next thing there's food on your table. You tell a guy that likes you, there's the Agina Mabon. 2 minutes later, unale Mabon. That's just it. You like a guy that really likes you is not gonna sit and relax. No. Money is not the deciding factor. Even when we are in a committed relationship, guys, we were talking about the highest rate of unemployment the past few weeks. It seems like we forget that when we enter relationships, for people are actually just making ends meet. So are you not gonna get married to the love of your life because no money? Anyways, Prudence said communication and understanding, and you said communication with understanding. See, we are two people. If I come to you with a problem, you're gonna understand. You're not understanding. So we can communicate as much as we want to. But if there's no understanding, then automatically communication turns into talking.
It is not communication. It is not communication if there's no understanding. The product of communication is understanding. So if you find yourself communicating and there's no understanding, then trust, my love, you were not communicating, you were talking.
Then without understanding, there's no communication.
100%.
And then that is why it's very much important to have understanding in your communication. How does in the tone, it is in the tone for the is one. That is what brings understanding. Because regards to manyani and think, oh no, I'm communicating. Or but in actual fact, I understand that. So when you communicate, there must be understanding. And just because when your intention is to make the other person understand does not mean they understand you. So it's a tricky one, but without understanding, we're gonna communicate the whole year without anything coming out of that. So far, we've talked about the how many red flags. a lot. Surely pick them up. So yeah, one major thing, sex. One thing about our generation, we do not like our bodies. We do not like our bodies. One thing about us is that whoever is available, we get there. I think in a way, I'm blaming us feminists for we brought that as a way of a woman empowering themselves, but at the same time, we did not realize the damage that was being done. My darling, you can be sexy, you can be hot, but that does not mean you have to surrender your body. If you do not want to have sex with the person and they're not understanding that, please understand for you're not in a safe space. If they say we're gonna have sex now and you tell them for not today, and they insist and you have to come up with an excuse or you're on your period, please remove yourself from that situation. If you find yourself giving excuses for not having sex, remove yourself. Because stop having sex to benefit the other party. If you do not want to, even if you're not on your periods, if you say no, let it be known that your no is a no. And I think this is because, okay, it's very important to hurry. Let no yagaku. No, my no means try hard. No. If it's a no, let it be a no. If it's a yes, let it be a clear yes. Because one thing that I've realized is that a lot of guys find themselves with rape cases on their hands because the person or they thought there was an understanding, but then in actual fact there was no understanding. And Motuhatisha police station will a different story. So guy, if a girl says no, to make it clear what kind of no is it, because there are those girls that don't know. Now my no means try harder. So please, when you do get into that intimate space, understand their no and understand their yes, to avoid having the case to say the understanding on your head. But ladies, if you find yourself having to fake periods, if you find yourself having to pretend to be asleep, if you find yourself making excuses, please understand you are not in a safe space, and that is a red flag. Do you understand? And we should Kidding. A lot of guys, Libona, they've had sex at a very young age where an older lady was just saying, no, Mara, you look old for your age. My darling, Rana, when they tell you you look older than your age, remind them all the time from when you're still young and not ready for that. Because we often think that a lot of girls are pressured into sex, but it's actually more guys that are pressured into sex than girls. So Lilena, now I'm not going to be an advocate for you guys. I'm not going to be an advocate for you guys. So when you do not feel like having sex with that girl, you tell them that you do not want to have sex. Let your no be a no. You are also allowed to say no. If they make fun of you, please understand that's a red flag in your friendships and in a safe space and you leave. Because some those are just they want to leave the red flags in friendships, but we just push them aside because kimping jaga. But boundaries are very much important. Is there anything you want to add to?
Yeah, I'd like to throw in my cent right there. Guys, have you seen the HIV stats?
Yes.
South Africa is there on is it the world record or the African one? But it's there. It's up there. Number one. Number one. And it's very scary. The numbers are very high. Like I don't know, is it number one in Africa or number one in the world? But I'm sure if Mahlodi is here, she'll just quote the stats in the comment section. Oh, it's number one in the world. We have the highest HIV rate in the world. So that alone is very scary. So sex, please practice safe sex if you are having sex, but abstain. That word, please celebrate. Please celebrate if you can, but that's also something that you can decide on. Well, I have this idea, this whole sex thing, or people regard it as a physical thing, but it's not. When you are indulging in that activity, you are going through barking, so intertwining. You intertwine with the other person. I just hope that someday I'll be able to put out my thoughts about it clearly without offending other people, but it's very spiritual. It's very, very, very spiritual. If people knew the intensity or the magnitude of that whole thing, I don't think they would want to just sleep around. You know how why nightstands are so normalized, and I'm there like, what?
Also, friends with benefits are so normal.
Friends with benefits is a thing. How is this normalized? Like, you can just go sleep with a stranger and you continue with your life, Nkari, everything is fine. You're probably struggling with something right now that you're not supposed to be struggling with because you slept with somebody out there. Guys, we take the cases from these activities. So I just hope when our guest Afika, if he does come, I'll explain that whole thing, because wow, it's just too much. Back to you, Madam Host.
You know how we always get gaslighted when you're talking about the soul tie things, but when you actually when you bump into a person and they tell you their problems, you start realizing, no, man, like those was not supposed to
be. Depression, like where is it coming from? Overnight anxiety. You never used to struggle from anxiety. Where is it coming from? Where is it coming from? Is just somebody there.
And the excuse for ignoring or gaslighting us out of talking about this is, why can I not twala the good things? You do twala, but you do not twala the cases only. You do twala the good things that person has. That is why you find yourself finally a pinch of happiness in the depression. Or that's why you find yourself finally a pinch of anxiety in your happiness. Do you understand? You not only do you take the bad things, but you also take, but then a lot of it can be solved very much easy. You pray, and then you pray over the water that you're backing with.
Don't do that. No, like go eat poison and you can always vomit it. That's dangerous. Why are you telling people to
no,
go in person and take?
I'm telling someone who's on the aspecting getting anxiety just had it doing, bruh, just pour a water.
Damage control.
Yeah, but you can do that. You can actually, I'm into astrology, and a lot of astrology girls really do help with this kind of things. So yeah, your soul baths, your full moon rituals and whatnot, they actually do help with this. But do pray in every ritual that you do. So when you reverse all of those things, yeah, do that. But then, guys, it's very much let's abolish just different friends with benefits. Let's abolish the male besties and female besties. Because now I realize it's no longer about just happiness being a female best friend. No, there's something underlying in that female bestie because the title itself is giving me creepies. You know, why
That's not true. That's not true.
Now on my Facebook, guys, on my Facebook, when they tell you a male best, it's something totally different from just being a male best friend. So I realized it's now slang for friends with benefits. So there's that. And yeah, Tabaga is like, honestly, let your no be a no to both genders. Let your no be a no. Let it be known that you said no. And let your yes be a yes. Create clarity. No matter how hard you want to hit it, create clarity so that it does not come back to burst in your face. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the green flags because we forget that. But guys, do you know how nice it is to have someone ask you if you've eaten today? Oh my gosh. Well, for someone like me who struggles with eating, it really means a lot. So when somebody just regularly checks in with you, I think it's someone that likes you. So it goes back to dating people who like you. Because if I don't like you, that's will change. Sometimes you create my 4 days is a girlfriend, my 5 days is a boyfriend, how is that even possible? You're not even married yet, but you're not you don't want to live inside of them. How is that possible? Guys, you need to not be communicating constantly. I don't want to be texted no, my darling, you want to. It's just that you're dating someone who doesn't like you. Because a person who likes you is gonna text you day in, day out. To be honest. There are a lot of think pieces Miss South Africa, and I'm just thinking for all of those things come from a place I want to be there, but it's just that hi Ojola le Thabang and Thabang be private and yeah. So that's when Ujolo or Nishangwana, guys. Let's normalize dating people who actually like us. Let's not jolly people that we see for this person does not like me. And when they're just holding on to empty memories, you think, oh, they're going to change. I need to be thinking what they're going to change. If he's not upping his game, you move. Trust me, there's always going to be someone who's going to appreciate your vocals. There's going to be someone who's going to appreciate your weird things. There's always someone for you out there. Do you understand? So do not settle for old memories. When they're settling for something that's your, then they're settling for the memory. For a salad regular ice cream, so yeah, will not change. He's not. And I also saw something that is very much tricky to date in our generation, because guys, we prioritize a lot of wrong things in our mujolos. So people just end up just not dating at all. But before I indulge into this, happiness, you can come in.
Thank you, Takhato. You are still watching Dailies. We are talking about modern day dating. So yeah, we're still addressing the red flags. We are also expecting our guest to come anytime from now. He is a relationship counselor, marriage counselor. So I think if you have any questions about marriage, relationships, or anything, any of the things that we've been talking about, just throw them in the comment section. We have a comment from the floor. But before I can go to the comment side, Chahadzo, I think another important thing, why are you dating? What are your reasons to date? We all have different reasons. Some they just need somebody to travel the world with. Some we are grooving together. We are doing it for TikTok, make cute videos and all that. Some are there for marriage, a life thing. So I think all people actually, not somebody, people should be clear about their intentions about umjolo. Or okay, look, now I don't just want to travel, but I want marriage. And from there, I think it gives the relationship a very clear definition. It's not just all over the place. You understand? Yeah, I think you have noted that down somewhere in your questions, and thing is, I'm not gonna move forward. In as much as we blame our own perception towards sex and past experiences, I reckon that also the society, peers, is a contributing factor to that. I mean, it goes beyond happiness, and we shouldn't forget that. And we shouldn't forget what influences others to be in such situations. He further said, oh, still on the same sex thingy, Gauteng alone, according to Relief Web, we are sitting on more than 23K girls ages under 18 gave birth between April 2020 and March 2021. Gauteng province alone is home to 15 million plus people, so 0.15% of the population is there. How scary is this?
That is a rape crisis. We're dealing with a rape crisis.
It's a rape crisis.
It's a rape crisis, because how is a 16-year-old pregnant? How are so many 16-year-olds pregnant? It's a rape crisis. Where are the boys? Where are the fathers? I promise you, if we look back, this is one of the things that I was most scared about when we went into level 5 lockdown. For now, we're going to have kids, girl children in unsafe homes. And now it's starting to show, there's the promise. I promise you, there's no 16-year-old boy who's going to maybe like that drop in the ocean, but most of these pregnancies, I guarantee you, so they are from old men, they're from uncles, they're from old neighbors. We're dealing with a rape crisis. I can tell you what it's called when a 16-year-old and a 16-year-old sleep together, but still, we're dealing with a rape crisis, guys. That is just, and safe sex, we should stop stigmatizing HIV. Guys, HIV is just like COVID. We still have HIV. Do your testings. There are just nasty jokes that are flying on the socials about HIV, and that is what's chasing people into not testing for HIV. Bro, it's not that scary. Go in, test out there, find that you're positive, start taking your treatment, and live your best life. Is that easy? There's guys. Technology has advanced. Now we have treatments to understand. Forget those posts about Maheu and what was like those, and people like, guys, honestly, on a serious note, if you find yourself sharing a joke about HIV, you find yourself texting a joke about HIV, you are a problem in the society and you're contributing absolutely nothing. Because that is one of the crises that we can't be dealing with COVID, the gender-based violence, the HIV jokes, guys. Let's stop this stigmatizing it. There's always a testing station. And I think this also goes back to the healthcare workers who can go the HIV. Stop shaming these kids when they come to test. They're not testing because maybe they slept with someone. There's also exposure, guys. Like, stigma some more, because you could, like, a lot of lives can be saved. We have treatment, like we have people who are taking treatment and living their best lives. So do test before you indulge someone in sexual activities. Samayang lo testan. Test for your STIs, test for like everything, just to be safe. The wicked guys, so we need to be safe. Understand that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And still on the HIV, Takato. Thank you. People should stop stigmatizing it. And another thing, like you have said, Kokore, people should test. Make it a regular thing. Okay, you're not engaging in sexual activities. It's just better for you to just go there, even if it's just an annual check, for the general health check. And also, you go to take a lot, which most of our age group are using it. Okrea, the test, they're less than 100 bucks, if not 10 rands more than 100 bags. They are very affordable. So if you're not comfortable to go see Sister Bettina go clinic, you can just buy those tests online, 100 rands. The other thing over there is PrEP and PEP. My friend will just drop in a bit on what are they and how can one get them, all of that information. But PrEP and PEP, I think PrEP is the one that you drink before you go engage in sexual activities so that you don't get the, but I don't know much about it. That's why my lady is going to help us. And then PEP one is the post exposure. So let's just say you got exposed, you got raped, or something, got exposed to the virus, then you can get these free at the clinic or get it at your nearest pharmacy. Yes.
Very much important.
Another thing is safe sex. If you're gonna have sex, just safe sex.
Yes.
Am I still here? Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm having reception problems. But anyways, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back.
All right. It's 40 minutes to closing, and we are closing our comment section at 20:45. So please, guys, make sure you send in those questions, the comments. What are your views about dating? What do you think one should look out for before they say I do to a relationship? You are watching Bay Waves, and we are talking about modern day dating. So before I can pass it on to the host, Tahatso Monagedi, let's just take a quick air break. Thank you. Our tech support didn't copy that, which is okay. It's fine. We are still expecting our good doctor, Dr. Simon, who is a marriage counselor. He has a doctorate in philosophy in Christian counseling. He is a doctor of theology. So I think we're just going to hear more about relationships and what the Bible says about relationships. So please stay tuned. Over to you, Tahato.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. And thank you for raising the issue, the PrEP and PEP. Guys, like, unlike COVID, no one is going to tell you who you've been exposed to the virus. So make it a regular thing to go test for your HIV. There's always mobile clinics, HIV. So just visit them one day. They're always at the malls, I think, at taxi ranks. They're pretty much everywhere. That's why there's actually like help. It has advanced. And let's stop breaking those kids, guys. we were focusing on the girl kids being pregnant, but we're leaving out the boys. There was this other post again some month ago, I think, about 1,300 girls with HIV. I just do not remember it. And somehow somebody managed to make that an issue about girls. Guys, it's not only an issue about girls. They just picked up the stats to the girls, but where are the boys? Let's not forget where the boys are. These kids are not infecting themselves So maybe our journalists should try doing a better job in reporting stats than just saying girls. We need to also focus on the boys, because if we're gonna solve the girls only, we're still not solving the cause of the problem. The green flags of relationships, guys. Let's talk about the green flags. What is your like a green flag that you do not compromise on?
Me personally.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry, why did I say me personally? Okay, but yeah. Well, there are a lot of things. The green flags are the go ahead, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Well, for me, in case there's somebody who would want to audition, well, good manners before anything else. Good manners. Your manners, they count so much to me. If you have bad manners, you're probably gonna make me cringe. You need to have good manners. You need to have direction. Man, I work so hard to afford myself softer things in life. So I would need somebody who would match my energy. And I think the other thing is religion. Well, for me, it's a big thing. You know, I don't know if my mind is still back there, but it's still refusing to be able to take in other things, you know, other religion. I'm straight into Christianity. I think the reason why I cannot take other religions but Christianity, it's because I don't know anything about them. So maybe if I can get proper education about them, then I can be willing to take it. But it just makes it easy for me to have somebody who would believe in the same thing, because that means I don't have to change what I believe in. Since it's a tradition, they have to go take in the tradition. If they believe in a tree, they would have to also start believing in the tree. So that the other thing is what? I think Tabaya direction, it includes Tabaya, they need to go to school. I think there's just that, I don't want to call it grace, but there's some light that is taught in education, you know. Solely reasoning capacity, it's different. So yeah, I'd also like that. And what else? I think there's a lot of things. There's a long list, but things that I'm not willing to compromise would be that manners, ambition, direction, one and the same thing, and tabia religion. And those are the key ones. The top three, not key, top three.
Okay. With me, I'm very much energy sensitive, guys. So if my energy doesn't like you, trust me, I'm not even gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. I do not care what goes on in your life, whether you have millions, whether you're doing what. If just our energies clash, trust me, you're not getting a second chance. I'm way too energy sensitive. I just hate finding myself in a situation where I have to over-explain myself, over-translating myself. Do you understand? I want, yeah. And another thing, for me, a red flag for me is having too many things in common. Come on, baby, like tell me something else that I do not know. Tell me something that bring me into something else, you understand? Yeah, sure, I know about prosthetics. What else? Because we're just going to talk about the same thing. So when I have too many things in common with someone, I get bored way too easy. Because I have a very imaginative mind. I love finding things out. So if I'm with someone that we have a lot of things in common with, that part of me dies. So someone will come match. So yeah, if you're giving me a match, we're definitely on the right track. And another thing is, you must have a nice soul. I'm very much interested in people's souls than what they actually give on the outside. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna go to bed with that soul. You're gonna solve your children conflicts with that soul. You're gonna solve your own problems with the soul that's in that body. So that matters a lot to me. Like, to be honest, because I honestly cannot have someone all of this throws back to energy. All of this dear thing to energy. Honestly, I'm not big on money. I'm not big on money. I'm big on having sufficient and having a little bit more. Maybe I'm gonna go into someone who's big on money, but money does not really play that huge role in my life. So if nanuena energy ya pleasure, I love being comfortable. I love being in an understanding with someone. So if the energy are sure, they're gonna unbalance some days here and there, but they must just match somehow. That's where the love comes in. So that on it, because I can love and not like you on some days. Love is what.
Is it me or we are losing Tahato?
I'm losing you, happiness.
Oh, sorry. I thought that we actually lost you. All right. Yeah. No, Sabulela, or are you giving me this platform?
I'm giving you this platform.
Oh yeah, I'm saying, guys. The brain is so important. It is important. I already talked about it, but I think that's the first thing. Hence, sexual. I think I also find myself in that group because before I can even move to other things, I need to be attracted to your mind, how you think, how you reason, how you resolve matters. Because what I know is that for me, dating, I'm not just dating for fun, but with the intention of building into a forever with somebody. Like I trust you, or you're gonna lead our household someday. You're gonna be the head of the house. So how can I trust an empty head to be the head of the house? Exactly. So that plays a very huge role to me. So if I cannot fall in love with this, then it's out. I'm out.
Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you drive a Range Rover or a Link. That Range Rover is not gonna solve the problems. Range Rover is not gonna bring solutions. It's not gonna bring peace. So yeah, that's very much important. Like totally important. And I love what you said, good manners, guys. Do you know you know, me, I fall in love with how you treat other people. If you can be kind to a stranger, then you're gonna treat me like a queen. There's no doubt in that. There's no doubt. So someone who's rude to other people, I don't even trust that person like at all. Like I can't rate it anyway, because what the hell is he gonna do to me if he can't be kind to just somebody else in like any relation with? So yeah.
And I think the other thing, sorry.
You can have
the other thing is your goals. I think your goals should be aligned. If idea aligned, you're probably gonna have like a major glitch somewhere.
Yeah.
Like I can give you example. I'm one person who had discovered the passion or their calling at a very young age. I know for sure I am called to this world to help other people. So imagine having a man who's not gonna understand that. Then they go like an abusive relationship, because I'm definitely gonna feel abused. I'm gonna feel suppressed. Because me, I know it's when I'm doing that. I find happiness and joy in helping people. No, you should stop this. Imagine, I'll die. The minute your passion or your calling dies, you die as a person. So I'll be a deadbeat in a relationship. I almost said a deadbeat. Yeah, I'll be a deadbeat in a relationship.
That's why I'm so big
on
energy.
Over to you.
That is why I'm so big on energy, because if my energy doesn't like you, then what are any other thing that you're gonna bring to the table? Just to go reject it automatically. Because we have to match. We have to match. And my goals, guys, you don't need to lay out your 5-year plan because life happens, things happen, and we also live in South Africa. So you might not reach your goal in time. You might not. And another thing, this is why kindness is so important to me, because if I can be someone who understands, who can be kind to me when life happens to me, internally those goes together, then we're gonna have a problem. Can I take your handicapness?
Thank you, Madam Host. We also have our audience sharing about what they look out for, their green flags. There's prudence here, are words and actions aligning. That's the first one.
Yes.
Second, want more similar things in life. That's true. When you're saying you want something that is different from you, because I don't understand which language are you going to use to communicate with each other. Because if we're different, I know it builds you think better and all that, but is it sustainable?
It is. It's actually sustainable, because to me, it's connection over common what. If the moment I connect with you, the moment our energies, I forget anything. Like if we killing, I feel like someone originally in common with is just me, but in a different body. Like you are you have your you things, but I get bored. I lose interest easy in things, and then if similar things, it makes me like,
no, but I understand. Well, I don't understand, but yeah. All right. The third one, respect and support for acknowledging your wrongs. This one is important. If you find somebody or controlling ego ya yay, red flag, and then they should be able know how to apologize. Number 5, share compatible goals. We did talk about this one. Then lotanang are 7 are 1, energy matching, which is key. 2, respect. How does a relationship work without respect? Toxic.
I think a person who, guys, this is why when we get into, like, the moment I get into a relationship, I think all of those things are established. Because how in the first place you get into a relationship with someone who does not respect you? You can continue.
100%. 3 are revision. 4, spiritually connecting. This is true. 5, communication. 6, reciprocating actions. Like, it is so painful to give and not get anything back. I know they say you should give without expecting back, but guys, let's be realistic. I mean, if I keep on giving you someday, I just throw me with some sweet glow, and I don't just receive. I don't think I want to be with that kind of a person who just receives, but they're not able to give. Like I said, I'm a natural giver, so I would want my partner definitely to be a giver as well. 7, psychological capabilities. Oof. I don't know, Madam Host, if you'd want to address that one.
Yeah, I do.
8 are how you react to your society. Yeah, this is also important. How you can you see by how they're interacting with a mere stranger, or because people can mask their characters or personalities during the honeymoon phase. Mota a gentleman, hey, and you fall into it.
And another thing, guys, like guys, honeymoon is not a phase. If you want to honeymoon, you'll just go. You must feel like a princess all the time, honey. Like I can say but now I need that excitement every day. Psychologically, I think the psychological thing and support goes hand in hand. Hence, I said for it. I can't do someone who does not understand what life happens, because I cannot always present 100% in the relationship. Some days are really bad, some days are really, really, really bad. So I need my partner to pick me up. I need my partner to pick me up. And Linda, I have to reciprocate when their bad days are really bad. I have to pick them up. Like, guys, when I say life happens, I really mean for life happens. Like, there are a lot of people they're in relationships with people that they cannot share their mentals with. If you cannot share your mentals with the person that you're dating, with the person that you're in a relationship with, I don't think you should be there. I don't think you should be there, because I can say that they don't like you. Guys, like you, there are a lot of relationships that we get into, but by local, they do not like us, and we keep making excuses and excuses. Somebody who likes you will understand that life happens, and they'll understand that you have your bad days. They'll understand the whole today is a terrible day, and they'll pick you up. They'll be supportive. They'll reciprocate. I want to address happiness directly on this. For hot girls have boundaries. Hot girls have boundaries. You cannot, especially given, takers have no limit. Guys, takers have no limit. As long as you keep giving, they'll keep taking. They'll never say, no, I am not doing it. No, they'll keep taking until we're not at the particular boundary. Do not be gaslighted, don't give without expecting. No, it's natural to not expect something. So if you find yourself giving, another person just says, no. You have to accept yourself.
That's true. Back to the list. Number 8. Oh no, number 9. Peace. Peace is very important. Like I said in the beginning, relationships are supposed, the ones that we're talking about, dating, it should be your endorphin simulator. Why just stress? The reason I'm taking this is to make myself more happier, like more peaceful. Like, you should fill me up from what I have, not or you should take away what I already have.
Yes.
You find me now, I'm a happy person. So imagine if I don't stress. No, I'd rather be alone. Thank you.
And wait, about peace. I need you guys to apply this in every relationship in your life. Friendships. The moment somebody stresses you out, cut them off. Honestly, cut them off. If anybody who's in your life is not giving you peace, then why are they in your life?
Why are they in your life? That's true. Be it family, be it friends. If it takes away your peace, cut it off. Silence.
Yeah.
Nothing is worth your peace in this world. Because they fail to take the big Caesar. Cut them off. If it does not give you happiness, if it doesn't contribute to your happiness positively or your growth, cut it off. Prudence are in number 6. Set honor and respect boundaries. Consistency is key. If we have a routine as a couple, let's stick to it. We can't 1 minute or send a good morning text and the following day there's nothing. How? Let's be consistent. Yes. Even the way you loved me. I once had Pastor TD Jakes, you have to love. You have to sit on the table when love is served, and you still have to sit on the table when love is not served until it comes back. So you're still eating from this table, waiting for nicer things. Like what he was explaining, consistently, like you need to love even on your hard days. And be able to be loved during your hard days. Because, when somebody, like, it's very normal when somebody is going through their depressions and anxieties, they want to shut down everybody. But a relationship is a commitment. If you chose or you want to do this life thing with me, I mean, I also want to be there through that, allow yourself to be loved through that. It's very hard. It's very hard when you're going through that phase, but be consistent.
Like that's very, very, very hard. Guys, like when someone who's struggling with their mentals, when they're having a rough mental day, they are going to shut you out. But that shutting out, it actually means, well, I want you here, but I don't know how to tell you that I want you here. And once you establish that algorithm in your relationship, correct? Okay, on my hard days, this is what I want. On like that routine, once you establish that, you're gonna have a smooth relationship. You're gonna have, because now you will know for no, they are angry or they're having a bad day, and this bad day is gonna. One thing that I like about my Jade is that he's consistent. Good morning, Tahada. Today I'm not having a good day. I won't be able to talk to you. So, but whatever you need, I'm here. You see, then when they're not talking, when they just quiet, this is what's going on. Guys, nothing will give you.
Is it available on Amazon?
I think it's on AliExpress. It's on AliExpress, guys, and I'll share the coupon. But being kept in the loop, communicating, guys, like I get all this stress communication. Guys, good morning, and then one day good morning. No, good morning. I'm gonna be busy. It takes less than 30 seconds to text. I'm gonna be busy today, and we always on our phone, so you definitely have that 2 minutes to text your girlfriend or busy. It's really
I think I want to do during the talking phase. Like, how do you want your partner to handle you when you are angry? Do you want your space, or do you want them to be there? How do you want them to handle you when you are happy? How do you react when you are sad? Like, what do I look out for? Exactly. And you're venting. Do you want me to listen, or do you want me to relate, or do you just want me to tell you, or it's gonna be okay? What do you want? Such things need to be communicated. Yeah. Because Baba, I know for me, if I'm angry about something and I happen to confront you, no matter how heated the conversation is, do not walk away from me. It's just, it takes me out. Do not walk away from me. But I know for other people, when they're angry, they want some space, which is okay. But try to learn such things about a person before committing to them. Because for somebody, what I'm talking about could be a red flag, Yeah. And it is 2034. That's about 10 minutes towards closing the comment section. You are still watching Bayways. We are talking about modern day dating. So please just interact with us there by the comment section. Tell us, what do you guys look out for when you're choosing a life partner or a romantic partner? Why are you dating? What are your reasons for dating? Let's hear about that and let's talk about it. Yeah, back to you, Madam Host.
This thing, we're talking about how you want to be dealt with. I have this rule, you guys. Now I'm a hot girl, guys. I don't want to lie. I have boundaries, and you overstep my boundary. You already know the dream, but I'm gonna cut you off. So, in now, I love if I'm going through something. I love telling the person that I'm dating, okay, I just want to vent. I'm not really looking for solutions. I just want this. Guys, like, people have a lot going on in their lives. They're not constantly waiting on you. Even your partner, they have some things going on in there. They're not constantly waiting on you. So give them heads up. For a guy, okay, today I'm actually going through this, and I would love it if you listened and maybe provided some solutions. Or no, I just want to run. So can you please be a sounding board? You know what? I really don't feel like being with people. Can you give me some space? Guys, these are the smallest things that will make your relationship work. A relationship is not supposed to stress you out. A relationship is supposed to be your safe haven. When it's really raining, you know, for in there it's warm, it's safe, and it's
wow.
You know, like
that's when you save the world. Like I want that after having a hard day or a horrible day at work, I know I'm running back to my loving partner and I know I'm gonna be okay. It should be that, not high-ish. You know what I'm No, man. No.
Yeah, I would probably
Shouldn't be
not
like that.
I will not probably survive a day in that relationship. Yeah, because now I'm a huge baby, guys. Like I'm a big baby. I cry a lot. I cry every day. I cry. When I say I cry every day, I mean every day, guys. So I need. If my person cannot be my safe haven, why are we doing this? Because I'm what this generation calls stupid. When I'm dating on a forever, honestly. I'm not one to waste my time. I know I'm not doing anything valuable with my time other than Netflix or happiness, but I value that Netflix or happiness. So I'm not going to waste my time with someone who will be not having a forever with. So the moment we get into a relationship, the ground rules, are we doing this for vibes or is this for forever? If we're doing this for forever, are you going to have babies? Do you want babies? No, I don't want babies. Oh, okay, now I want babies. Can we settle? Can we find a common ground on the baby issue? Then you talk it out. If it's not something that you cannot settle on, Maraga is like, you can settle on. Oh no, let's have pizza tonight. No, now one beggar, then you can settle there. But if it's something that you cannot settle on, save yourself. You cannot be in a relationship and be stressed. Stress economy was stress voting was stress supposed to love you. If your relationship is not a safe haven. And one thing that's very much important to me is if we are fighting to be unkind to me, you lost me. I need you to maintain the kindness even when we fight. I need to know, Hori, you still care, even in the fighting, because we are humans, we're definitely going to clash somewhere. But at the moment, you create your violent side, you've lost me, like you've lost me. So I love a partner that maintains kindness and, you know, but then I will kind with their words. I don't know if that makes sense.
I show you. Assurance is also key. Assurance is also key.
Every day.
When you're fighting, you need assured or we are still together. I love you. I just didn't understand 1, 2, 3. But you're still my sweetheart. You know? That is very key. Otherwise, it's fuck. You know, after fighting fuck. 7 days later, I'm sorry, I missed you. Yeah. That's not healthy. That's not, those mini breakups in relationships, they are not healthy because somebody couldn't go down and say, I'm sorry. It is not healthy. And Takato, you mentioned something that is very important. I mean, going to aging, we are now having kids conversation. Don't just get in a relationship before you talk about kids. Do you want to have kids? You know, you might find, I myself would want to have 1,000 babies. You know, I want a lot of babies for myself. And I don't know how I would make it work with somebody who doesn't want to have babies at all. I would also want to adopt and they are not open to the idea of adopting. Like such things, you cannot find a common ground. If somebody I want 20 of them, how are we going to find a common ground? Because me saying, okay, now I don't want 20, I'll settle for 5. I'm still taking them out of their comfort, their zone, which is not fair. You understand? Religion as well. I mean, I myself cannot take anybody that doesn't believe in God thought before anything else. So how is it gonna work when we are trying to connect Katawaya spirituality? How is it gonna work? You know, political views, for me, that is not that hectic. You can believe in your ANC, your EFF, it does not matter. But for somebody, it could be a very huge deal. You know, there are a list of factors that you need to talk about. That if we are gonna marry, are we marrying in community of property, or are we? Which way are we going? Are we gonna have annulment? Kind of why we done that contract?
An annulment contract.
Yeah, are we gonna have that? You know, some people they take offense or you know, so you need to have conversations about that. Or how is it gonna work? Also, gender roles in a relationship. What do you expect of me as your girlfriend or as your wife? You know, and get to hear or not expect. I'm not gonna expect you to take care of this, and that, and we're not going to arrive and get one proper, you know. So such things, there should be a long list of things. When I, as a person, create that little problem, especially when you're talking towards marriage, or okay, look, let's have a thing about this. When they are getting older, somebody could around, they just want them for themselves. But when you had it, or you know what, when I grow older and my mom is getting older, I don't want to take them to an old age home. So such things, because like that's why it's a very like what people have normalized the toxicity between mother-in-law and makoti, which is not normal. It's definitely not normal. And I think such things could have been avoided from the get-go. Black tags because you know, you also need to talk about that. So let me not take your show, Tahat. I'm sure you prepared something about that. Back to you.
Black text, ne? Guys, when you get into a relationship, but baby girl, not every month I have to send money go high. So do not be surprised when money gets sent home. I think that's one thing because the Jains are not being honest with little girl. Not every month I actually have to send this amount of money. Then okay, get any longer. We struggle from the competition. It's us competing for the Jains, of which it's ridiculous because the Jains will always be a child to their mom. That does not change. When you'll always be a girlfriend to that Jain. So make your life easy. Talk about those things. Talk for it. And then each month they go send down for let it not be a secret, guys. I don't know why financials are made such. It's a hush thing. And that's where a lot of problems arises from when it's being hush. I buy groceries so that maybe girl can understand. Then you know, yeah, I did this. Do you understand? And then you
that's
also
true.
Yeah.
You know, now I'm a very my brain is right-sided, so I work very well with visuals. So every time about something, I'll try to create a picture for you to get it. Like in this instance, let's just say when I'm on like when I'm testing out the priority, let's just say I'm married to you. We get in an accident, both of us require a 10 rand hospital bill, and you only have 10 rands. Who are you gonna pay for? Are you gonna pay for your wife or your mother? You know, that's where you get to learn about the priorities, you know. So try to create those visuals. Because it's easy to say, oh no, I'll always put you first, but putting it into practice, it's not like that. That's why confuses. But I thought because I still don't understand gore bo makoti ba lolang le bo mother-in-law and ba feletsa ba mother-in-law makoti ba blame bo mother-in-law o blame makoti, but the real problem is the guy in between. You know, the guy himself can mitigate a lot of things. So yeah, back to you.
And I'll I'm on religion. I have a problem with religion and spirituality because somehow those are two different things. So I'm not really quite big on religion. So if you believe in your trees, do you? If the trees answer you, then that's very much correct. I'll also talk to whoever I talk to, and if they take my answers, at the end of the day, our problems are solved. Whether you were praying to a tree or I was praying to a star. So now those kind of things don't really, like, I love maintaining individuality even in a union. I love it's what brings the color, because I liked you from afar before we came with like it, so I'm not gonna try and turn you into being something like a local is gonna fit me. And another conversation that you must have, contraceptives, guys. I think you should just have them, the conversation. But then the guy really has no say in what you do to your body and what you do not do to your body. You just have to let them know. If they bring up topic yet, kids, let them know for I'm on this plan and I'm planning to be on this for so long. And if you guys find a common ground there, very good. But what he's not going to do is force you to go off your contraceptive plan or accommodate Diana. Do not get yourself in an uncomfortable position just to please the next person. Yeah. Your hand is raised.
That's true. Oh yes. Before I throw in another penny, we have officially closed the comment section. Our good doctor has sent his apologies. He's still in a political debate in another radio station. So unfortunately, he won't be able to make it. But the best part of it is that we're continuing with this conversation next week. We'll also be inviting young couples and we'll just hear more about their love story. So before it goes back to me, let's just take a quick break and then we'll come back at it. Our tech support is really failing us, you know.
It is.
But it's okay. I don't know if it all right, no problem. And no sabela ka tabeng important to be like contraceptives. Should you want to participate in sexual activities and not use protection, or should the protection fail? What's gonna happen if I fall pregnant? What's gonna happen? You know, you need to have a conversation about that, because one of the baby mama and baby daddy drama, it's because of that whole thing. Oh, our good doctor is here. So let's just take those 5 minutes to say hi to him. I'm just gonna allow him to enable his video so that we can see him. Please also unmute your mic, doctor. I'm so excited, but it's already.
I'm not very sure if you can see me. I'm just from another show, and we're driving towards the house. You may not see the whole of me, but we're trying to. Yeah, can you see me?
No, unfortunately we cannot see you.
No,
doctor.
You will see me not.
But thank you
so long. You'll see me. I was just on another radio talk show. Now we just ended. Greetings to all of you in the platform.
Good evening, doctor.
I'm very excited to make whatever
unfortunately-
contribution I can make.
All right, thank you, Doctor. Unfortunately, it's already 10 minutes to closing, but I did tell our audience that you're coming back next week to address some of the confusions we are having and just give us a small presentation about healthy relationships, how to maintain relationships, what to avoid in relationships,
Well,
the red
I'll
flags
just,
and the green flags.
well,
So
I'll just,
yeah, I can see.
yes, shortly, there's one thing I always said to young people: tell each other the truth. Very often people discover each other long when they are already in long-term relationships or marriages, that they have not told each other the truth from the beginning. So tell the truth no matter how it hurts. If you're getting into a relationship and you already have a kid who stays somewhere, tell it as it is. Let's not try to be what we are not. And this honesty is the one that will help you as you build your relationships. There are areas, I've always told the youth today, the greatest challenge we have is that when young people are in a relationship already, they start by having sex. And when you start to have sex, I must tell you, mostly when you have unprotected sex, the DNA that the man takes out of himself goes into the woman's DNA, and it begins to model that person. That's why when people stay together for a very long time as husband and wife, after some few years, people will say they look alike, because the more they are engaged in these sexual relationships, the DNA from the woman and the DNA from the man keeps on changing the other DNA. And I'm saying to the young people, if you have sex with someone and you know that you're not going to stay together or whatever, and if you have a long-term relationship, mostly that is not protected from the man, what happens is that slowly you're actually going to reformulate this girl into a person who looks like you. And later, if this girl gets married to another person, that's why a girl would have a child who looks like someone else, and you wonder what actually has happened. It is actually the DNA. That's why God says, when you marry someone, you become one flesh, and that one flesh is the changing of the DNA, and it is very serious. So sex is a one-way street. Be careful that you don't spend time on it, because you will not be able to build and talk about other issues. So I will next week with you engage and we'll debate and discuss these things, because they are very important. But for those of you who are able, you can access my book in preparation, for this talk. I deposed a book called Choosing a Life Partner. I deposed the book on Amazon.com, so you can access the book. If you want to have an electronic copy, you can buy. If you want to have a hard copy, you can buy. So I deposed the book there, in which I talk about a number of some of these things, which I will base my talk on next week.
Thank you, Doctor. That was Dr. Simon Nedohe. He holds a Doctor of Philosophy in Christian Counseling and also a Doctor of Theology. So the reason we invited him here again is that he's a specialist in relationship counseling, and he's an author. Like he said, you can access the book on Amazon. Mahlodi is just going to be there in the comment section to tell you more details about the book. He's an author and a radio commentator on relationships. We are going to hear more about this book and his views, or what the psychology behind relationships, next week. So right now, I'm just going to take it back to our host, Tahatso. Over to you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Simon, for gracing us with your presence. And I also love that we'll be talking about how sex impacts the people that are participating in it, because you'll be talking from a Christian view, and I'll be coming from the African spirituality view. So it's gonna be a more broader discussion. I'm looking forward to it. Do not miss it, guys. On Bold Moves Radio, on Facebook, and Bold Moves Radio on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And yeah, we are here again next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Do not miss it. Do not miss it. And I also like what he said about being honest. Guys, there is another relationship, it means you've concluded everything and you get agreement. Be honest. Honesty honesty really goes a long way. It's like a small thing you have to write into answer your phone. Be honest on it. It will save you from a lot of troubles and headaches and whatnot. So yes, be true to yourself, be true to the person that you're with. Safe sex, by the way. You can give your closing statement in the 4 minutes that we have.
Thank you, Takhazo. I just love what the doctor did right now. He just confirmed what I was saying about sex. You know, I just gave a teeny tiny bit, and he came in. You know, I'm looking forward to the conversation next week. Like, I'm just excited. I just wish for Tuesday, tomorrow, and we get on it. I'm looking forward. So please, go tell your friends to tell their friends to come on next week, and let's just try to better this whole relationship thing so well. Like, relationships are not so bad, guys, you know, so let's just try to find better ways to improve our relationships, and let's learn more about the things that could damage us while we are in relationships. That's all that I have to say. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is Bold Moves Radio. We are also here on Facebook as Bold Moves Radio. We are airing every Tuesday at 7 p.m. It's normally me and your girl Takhazo. We also have the boys in the house, which you'll be soon seeing. They just took a mini vacation, but they're coming back. So please. And next week, we're also having young couples. So if you're there and you want to come with your partner, you just send in a DM, a message there by Messenger, and we'll invite you to the show. Yes. Thank you.
Yes. What did I want to I wanted to say something. Bye.
Bye, doctor.
I wanted to say something, but I forgot what I was going to say. But I know for a fact, guys, with someone who likes you. So do date people who like you. The little voice in your head that tells you this person does not like you, it's not lying to you. Definitely it's not lying. And you will know when a person doesn't like you. These things are not but and it's very much important to embark on a self-awareness journey before you commit. It's gonna save you a lot of troubles, a lot of headaches, So do that. And regarding friendships, have supportive people in your life, guys. Some of you are friends with people who don't actually like you and rate you, but we'll be talking about that some other time when you are tuned into Bold Moves Radio, when it is Tuesday, when it is 7 p.m. Do you understand? We'll be covering all that. Thank you for chilling with us for those 2 hours. It was nice. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Let's do this again. If you like, send me money. I'll send me money. Yes, send me money.
Before we go, can they play our song, our jingle? You know, we've been calling out for it, but the tech support failed us like 2-3 times. So before we leave and say goodnight, Bold Moves jingle, can we have it? Tech support before Takhazo and our audience. Please. All right, good night, everybody. Have a sweet night. We love you. This is Bold Moves Radio and Bay Waves. Have a good night. Goodbye.